What up, Alex Spear fans? It's that time again, Skin Game. What is happening? Oh, by the way, help me to decide what to call an Alex Spear fan. We need a name like Swifties, Spearers, Alexis, Lickers. Oh, God. Forget that I said that. The really depressing thing is if I type Alex Spear, my pen name, into Amazon to try and find my books, and sometimes it will suggest and say, I didn't find anything. Did you mean Alexa Speaker? Which is so insulting. But anyway, we're going to do something about that, aren't we? So let me know a good name. And please get my books better known. Tell people, buy copies. Send a marvelous Christmas gift. Send them to everybody you know this year for a present. So yesterday we got to chapter 17. I'm going to try and do chapter 18 today, which is called Road Trip, and it ends on a cliffhanger. And given that it's almost 8 p.m. now here in New Orleans, I think I'm probably going to have to do the denouement, the resolution of the cliffhanger tomorrow. So I'm sorry about that. But should be exciting anyway. See what you think's going to happen. So we're about halfway through the book now. Chapter 18, Road Trip, and it is dated February 2025. So Julie and Zebedee drive across to California to try to find Roosevelt. It is a good feeling to have a little money now, though neither of the women are the sort to be wasteful. They are both overdue a vacation. The address they have for Miss Julie's brother is in San Diego. Zebedee has an old-fashioned paper route map that she unfolds. She could use the sat-nav, but she thinks she kind of knows the way. As they sit in her car, she spreads out the map and shows Julie, tracing the route with her finger. We head pretty much due west, see? We can stop in Houston, San Antonio, somewhere in New Mexico, Tucson, Phoenix, and then we'll be in San Diego. I'm aiming for 6 days of driving so we can take things a little easy. Maybe 5 hours behind the wheel each day. That's enough concentration for me, a relaxed little road trip. And there are some nice things along the way that I want to show you. Zebedee turns out to be a wonderful tour guide. She has planned a few slight detours so that they can hang out together enjoying the scenic route. When they stop for the night at a motel in Albuquerque, she takes Miss Julie to the preserved art in the rocks. These are known as petroglyphs. These rock paintings made out of carving or gouging the surface. Look at the spirals. Those are my favorite, so neat and impressive. This was a long time ago. They did not have the same tools that we do. Zebedee is in her element as this ancient art was her major. There are a lot of theories about the meanings of these patterns, she is explaining. I have some Navajo family. These spirals might mean the way that life keeps bringing you back around to the same lesson, or the way that my people used to travel around in a circular way to make the most efficient use of the land and the resources. But my personal favorite theory is the one that says these carved spirals are portals. Portals to where, Miss Julie asks. Another planet? I'm not sure about another planet, but certainly somewhere else. Maybe another place on the Earth, or maybe still this place, but at a different time. On a different plane, another dimension. Can you imagine? Not really. And what I love is that the Aboriginal Australians and the Maoris in New Zealand all simultaneously drew these same spiraling symbols and believed that they meant the same thing. Are you serious? Julie has not heard about this. African art too, that spinning, spiraling, cyclical nature of death and rebirth. It seems that people all over the world understood this, even though they never met one another. The tourist centre and gift shop is cool under the air conditioning and ceiling fans. The gigantic glass picture windows let in the light, but not the heat. Julie moves slowly, reading all the information boards, relishing her rare vacation. They enjoy the richness of spending quality time together on their road trip. Zebedee does the driving while Julie leans against her shoulder. Sometimes they hold hands. Miss Julie sighs. I hope I don't lose you to all the other girls who like you, Z. You're so unusual. Zebedee grunts. You're the one who's unusual. Most of the girls I like, they want a man, not me. When they reach San Diego, Julie gets Zebedee to drop her off at the address that they found online. It might be where her brother has been living. It was worth a shot. It's a ritzy place, Ocean Boulevard, Coronado. Zebedee lets out a low whistle when they see the front of the mansion. It spreads out on either side like a fairy tale castle. I looked it up on Zillow, she grins. He paid $10 million for it, but that was a few years ago now. Just look at it. A 2-story house with a great view of the beach. A deck with a telescope set up, and linen-covered chairs for entertaining, but no sign of anyone inside. You think I'll bump into my brother's wife? I doubt I'm her favourite person, taking a portion of the money she and her kids would have otherwise received. Zebedee shakes her head. According to my online stalking, there is a property registered in just your brother's name. I don't know how long they've been having a rough patch in their marriage or what the deal is, but as far as I can see, the wife lives in another part of town. This address is simply Roosevelt Ave, and has been since he bought it. Miss Julie breathes. I'll go in and try and find him. You go on, I'll be fine. Zebedee understands. I get it. I see that you want to meet up with your brother alone. Well, look, I will drive on to our hotel, check in and get our luggage into the room. Then just call me whenever you want me to come back and get you. They share a small kiss. Zebedee sighs. You're absolutely sure that you want to do this by yourself? Miss Julie nods. I feel I have to. As Zebedee drives away, Julie climbs the steps that lead up from the beach to the front door, which is on the higher story. Ringing the doorbell, there is no answer. She had assumed that he would have a fancy security system, but actually there is a simple door with a keyhole. This place has the feel of a beach hut rather than a primary residence. Maybe he doesn't stay here in the winter. He might have multiple properties for all she knows. The way the rich live, a world she knows nothing about. If he is not here, then she will go and meet Z very soon. After knocking for a few minutes, she searches for a key under the mat. Nothing. Then she tries a nearby rock or two. She discovers one of those hide-a-key contraptions with a combination lock. Her eyes are filled with tears as she picks this thing up. It still weighs a ton. It came from her mother's house and the combination is still the same. 10:23, Roosevelt's birthday. She lets herself in and stands in the cool of the large house and smells the air. She cannot think that she has ever been in an exclusively male home before. Her brother haunts the place with the ghost of his scent, cologne and beard oil and pipe tobacco, and a little discreet man sweat. Hello, Julie calls out. Anyone home? It is enormous, an old house with the dark wood furniture and white linen that is French, but also here and there she can detect the Creole influences. Julie feels quite moved. Her brother had bought a house in San Diego and yet had decorated it in a New Orleans style to remind him of where he grew up. It tugged at her heartstrings, the little touches she recognized. A beautiful coffee table book left out to impress visitors has the title Creole. Flipping through the glossy pages, she finds that it is a cookbook with colourful photographs of meals she remembers her mother making. Her mom would have had no patience for this expensive, pristine hardback. She would have given such an item as this short shrift. In her family, recipes are verbal, not written, or if handwritten down, they're not clean, splattered with grease spots from cornbread batter, and certainly never purchased. There is a veranda on the south side, enclosed by mature trees, holly possibly. She steps out of the air conditioning and sits in the dappled light cast by the foliage. The shades of green, bright and glowing or dark and cooling, are just the same as her childhood memories. Roosevelt must have planted the greenery he grew up with in New Orleans, and it had taken root here, 2,000 miles away in this much drier climate. His home is a sensory delight. Julie luxuriates, the salty spray from the sea, the sand in the cool breeze. This seems a million miles away from what they had once been used to. She hopes that her brother remembers running with her in the Louisiana swamplands as fondly as she does. Glancing up at the outdoor ceiling fans, which she wants to try to switch on, she sees that her brother has painted the porch roof with the traditional haint blue. That's a very Louisiana thing, and it made her smile to think that he had brought it here. A couple of black wasps are busy in one corner, and she hopes they will not be making a nest up there. He will need to buy citronella candles and perhaps a long-handled broom to batter the insects before they get too comfortable. There are such pretty little birds hopping around in the greenery just beyond the house. A bright red one with a crest, which she seems to remember is called a cardinal. Her brother used to call her little bird, with her delicate bony frame and her inability to sit still. He would laugh to see her now with less energy and stiff, slow movements in her 80s. No doubt he was the same. She wonders how he must look now, whether old age has also crept up on him. She returns to the kitchen to see whether there is any sweet tea. Julie locks up the door to the outside world carefully behind her. No one knows that she is there, and she is not sure what she hopes to achieve. She has rushed to her brother's house hoping to see him, but she has no idea where he has gone or when he will be back. In the huge kitchen there is an electric kettle and some tea bags of the kind with orange that she is used to. Filling the kettle and plugging it in, she can't resist wandering around the empty house while she waits for it to boil. There are living rooms and bedrooms wherever she turns. She finds herself in what she assumes must be the master bedroom, with a four-poster bed and a white linen canapé forming a dramatic centerpiece to the room. Julie notices a framed photo of two men on the bedside table. One wears a necklace with the initial E in gold. She should be shocked or afraid, but instead, a wave of love fills her with understanding. She gives a small smile. This must be the answer. The two men in the photo are her brother and the imposter. The man who came to her party and died is standing next to her brother in this old photo. Her brother was always manly. In this Polaroid, which she estimates was taken in the 80s, Roosevelt is chicly dressed in a suit and tie. The other man looks a little more feminine, with his shirt open and a flower behind his ear. He has his arms tight around Roosevelt as if he is the most precious thing in the world. As she putters around the house, she is starting to piece something together in her mind. Something that she might have been aware of for years, but it's finally falling into place. The clues are all there. Tears begin to fall from her eyes. It is as if she always knew, but the pain was only just beginning to register. They had always been the same. Roosevelt and Julie had kept this secret from the family and from each other. They could have shared with one another. They could have supported each other. They could have gotten to know their partners, and the four of them could have been a family. But now it is too late. There is a file cabinet left unlocked, and she can't resist poking around in there. Birth certificates, invoices from contractors, all the administrative clutter of a family. She makes her way back to the kitchen to brew her cup of tea. She has been nosing her way around the house for longer than she intended, and it is getting dark outside. The whole street seems very quiet and deserted. Julie guesses that the neighbours are out of town for low season. She is alone. A car purrs very slowly along the beachfront road outside. Julie does not think that she can be seen in amongst the thick plants on the deck. Her brother has grown this row of holly trees to screen him from the beach and give him and his guests some privacy. She inches forward to see who it is. The dread in her stomach makes her wonder why the driver has slowed down so dramatically. Perhaps they're from out of town, taking time to enjoy the view. Of course, it is Roosevelt returning home, her rational mind wants to believe. But no, something deeply troubling in her psychic insight is screaming at her. Her brother is not returning safely home, and that person on their way is very bad news. She knows this, although she could not have explained why. She wants to see who the driver is, but they have tinted windows, a very expensive modern truck. Of course, all the neighbours are rich. She almost catches sight of the license plate as the vehicle seems about to pass, but suddenly it stops and the driver turns off all the lights. The sun is setting over the ocean and things are getting harder to make out. Julie instinctively drops to the floor of the porch. This is weird. Trying to rationalize, she imagines that the driver is looking for a house and has pulled up for a moment to read the map. It is nearly 10 at night, so perhaps not dinner plans. A party maybe. But the pricking of her thumbs lets her know that this is not the time to be rational. Logic has no place in survival. This driver is dangerous and they're looking for her. She is sure of it. Frozen, her eyes wide, she is down on her haunches, peering carefully through the leaves. Her over 80-year-old knees are burning. Sweat runs down her back, under her dress. Sneaking in the back door, she crawls along the linoleum floor of the kitchen, trying to make it to the panic room she had glimpsed. She knows there should be the monitors of the CCTV cameras in there that she will be able to use to see who gets out of the car. There is also probably a silent alarm button she could press in there that automatically calls 911 if she needs to. She just has to get to the panic room. But before she can get there, the front door opens. Looking up in horror, she can't believe who she's seeing. End of chapter. Oh my gosh. Well, tune in tomorrow when I'm going to try and do chapter 19 and we'll find out who it is and what happens to Julie. Ooh,